Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be looking at the Smart number 1. So you join us here on a freezing cold Shanghai morning with the Smart number 1. Now you'll have noticed that it's grown up a little bit from the original Smart concept that was a two-seater car just for the city. I loved the Smart car as a kid. I thought it was a great idea to have a car that was just as much car as you needed. Unfortunately, after about 20 years, the market still didn't agree. They all wanted SUVs, and Mercedes-Benz were about to lose patience with the little Smart brand. But thankfully, Geely stepped into a 50-50 joint venture and kept this little brand alive. As I said, it's grown quite a bit. You can probably fit 2 original Smart cars in the footprint of the Smart number 1. But as much as I love the original two-seater concept, we're going to judge this on its own merits. Let's find out how it does. Right, let's talk a little bit about the styling of the Smart number 1. And as you can see, it's got some very rounded edges. It looks a little bit like it was formed in a lava lamp. You've got running lights that run all the way across the front here and around these blobby headlamps. Got a very rounded, soft mouth there. This actually lights up at night time when you close the car. It's really quite cool. Now the styling is actually done by Mercedes-Benz, as indicated by the fact there's a little logo here that's styled by Mercedes-Benz. That's the main part, I would say, that they have in the joint venture. But I like it. Very soft, kind of bloated, tiny little overhangs front and rear, big wheels, they look good as well. I like that the roof line comes down here, doesn't quite connect with the body of the car, so the roof looks like it's floating, and this Smart logo actually lights up at night time. It looks a little bit like a Mini Countryman in terms of the way it's got kind of a chunky squared off rear end despite all of this rounded styling. Some chrome touches, black A-pillars, and of course this matte metallic grey also looks really quite excellent. It's coming along the side here, you can see there's really not a lot of resemblance in the Smart number 1 to any of the Smart cars that came before it. As I said, it's definitely jacked up. There was no really Smart SUV before. Here's that C-pillar I talked about that drips down. This badge lights up when you plug in to your charging port in there. That's the only charging port, everything is in there. You've got flush door handles, these pop out, they look quite funky as well with a Smart logo on there. And then you've got these huge 19-inch wheels. Who saw 19-inch wheels on a car of this size before? And they're pushed right out to the corner. These lights, I really like these. These are another full-width daytime running light here, and they look like blood vessels when they light up along here, little kind of platelets and cells traveling through there. Got very, very short overhangs. Cute little bum on this car, actually. Quite a tall, squared off rear. You do have an electric hatch there as well, and rear window wiper. Big window for good visibility in the city. It's very cool. I like it. It feels kind of squat, a little bit fat, a little bit podgy. It's a very, very funky car. That really cool exterior styling is really translated inside the car as well, where you get this really quite funky gloss white pearlescent plastic across the dashboard and here in a sort of muscular shape into the center console. The benefit of this is, although it does sound a bit cheap, it doesn't get the fingerprints that you get on black gloss plastic, and if you like a bit of extra chintz in your car, you can get it with rose gold as well. That's quite funky. Goes well with these oval vents that you get on both sides. They come with ambient lighting inside them that changes blue or red depending on whether you're putting the temperature up or down on your side of the car. That's a nice little bit of detail there. In the center you get a 12.8-inch screen. Not sure what processor it runs on, but it's fast enough. You get a little icon, a little fox in the corner here who is your sort of buddy on the screen. You can watch TV, listen to radio. This car comes with the Beats audio system, so we've got 13 speakers in this car compared to the standard 5. And that gives you the option. You can turn it on or off, but you get, a better sound, I would say, with the Beats audio turned on. Interestingly, on the menu here, we have a button for heated seats. So you get standard heated seats on the front 2 seats, but there's also a little padlock on 2 other options. One is a heated steering wheel, the other is ventilated front seats. They are subscription based only, so you'll pay 99 RMB, or about £12 for a month of heated steering wheel, or for 999 RMB you can have it permanently. It's about 199 for the whole year, and it's about twice the price for the ventilated seats. So not sure how I feel about subscriptions, but given how cold it's been recently, actually not a bad thing to have a heated steering wheel, definitely. As well as the 12.8 inch screen, you get a 9.2 inch digital display down here, which gives you all the basic information in a really sort of nice, cool way, embedded there into the dashboard. But that only gives you the basic information because you get a heads-up display as well, 10-inch heads-up display that gives you the speed and your sat-nav, and also little speed limit icons in there as well. That actually is really nice and clear. Again, comes with a funky little detail. If you're in the snow, where the white text would blend in, you can change it to orange. So also really quite cool. As I said, we've got the Beats audio system, so we get extra tweeters in the doors and more speakers in the C-pillar as well. They light up, so they're also quite funky. And yeah, I mean, overall, it's quite good. I mean, the materials are, fairly cheap. A lot of it is plastic, or sort of a rubberized plastic, but it doesn't feel that cheap because it looks different. It looks more sculpted than normal cars. You get a bit of leather and stitching up on the dashboard, and you get real leather on the seats, which are quite funky as well, with these quite cool little headrests. In this center console, you also get a wireless charger here, 12V outlet and 2 USB-C sockets, 2 cup holders and a pen holder, additional space that's air conditioned in there, and more space under the dashboard, as well as wide cubbies and a glove box, so you're not going to struggle to store your stuff. Oh, and of course the all important sunglasses holder as well. You also get a 1.3 square meter panoramic roof on all models, which is quite cool, and it comes with an electric sun blind, which is very useful in summer. Now, this steering wheel comes with a button that you've probably never seen on a car before. I certainly haven't. It is a WeChat button. I'm not sure what this button does in other countries, but WeChat, which is like WhatsApp if you don't know, is basically like a messaging service. So if you get messages, you can connect your WeChat to the car. And if you get messages, you can respond, send voice messages back, which I think is a great feature because it will stop people hopefully holding their phone while they're driving. Seating position is pretty decent. I would like a bit of tilt on the seat here, but you get reach and rake adjustable steering. You also get 4-way adjustable seats, decent bolstering on there as well, and they're comfy. There's also a lot of space in the back, so let's go and check that out. So as I said, here in the back we've got loads of space. So this chair in front of me is as far back and as low as it will go. I've got plenty of room under that chair for my feet, and plenty of space here in front of my knees, as well as loads of headroom as well. It's really, really quite spacious. You can also pull this little tab here, make your seat go a bit more laid back as well, and feature fresh out of the Renault Scenic from 1997. You can also slide the seats forwards and backwards as well for additional space in the back. So loads of room, loads of light, tall windows, great panoramic sunroof there as well. You get vents down here, can't change the temperature, but you do get some vents. USB-C sockets down there. Got your Beats speakers in the door, and one here in the C-pillar. You also get a hatch through the middle, a armrest with 2 cup holders, and the seats fold flat 60/40 as well. So really, actually quite a practical family car. This car on the road has really got its big boy pants on. And I don't mean that because it's, therefore bigger and more refined than a smart car. No, it's actually really refined. It's brilliant. Mercedes-Benz always wanted the smart to come across as premium, and it never really did. It wasn't very convincing at that. But this one genuinely has got all the credentials that it needs. The steering has got plenty of feel, certainly more than the local market cars, and you can tune it up a little bit and make it harder if you need to, but it's absolutely fine as it is. Helps because the wheels are right out in the corner, so you get kind of go-kart like handling. It's a bit like a tall go-kart. Really quite fun to drive on the limit. That same steering feel also applies to the accelerator. So a lot of electric cars don't have a lot of feel on the accelerator, This one is quite similar to the Polestar 2, which we were really impressed with earlier this year. Had some really good feel-some pedals, and this is very much from the same boat. Also, refinement. Refinement is a massive plus in this car. It's really good. Any potholes, any bumps in the road, any speed bumps, sunken grids, swallows them up, no problem at all. I was well impressed with that yesterday. I even went around trying to find more bumps to make sure that it was real. There's no crashing, no banging. It rides every bump really, really well, even the big ones. And that is not something you expect from a smart car if you've driven the original. So yeah, refinement, pedal feel, steering feel, all absolutely top notch. That's probably partially down to the fact that this car is built on Geely's SEA platform, which is getting more use these days. It's going to be under the Jidu 01 and also under the Zeekr 001. It's also underneath this, and it comes with the same 200 kilowatt motor on the rear axle in this as you get in the Zeekr. That's about 263 horsepower, or has 343 newton meters of torque as well, which in a car of this size and weight is more than enough. It's really sprightly, really zippy, because it's compact and quite small. Obviously not as small as the original smart car, but it still feels great in the city. You can take advantage of any little opportunities that come up on the road because of that motor. It'll do 0 to 100 kilometers per hour or 62 miles per hour in just 6.7 seconds. Now, how many petrol engine cars of this size can you say do that? Not so many. Certainly not many at all. So it's really actually a very impressive and very complete package, and you can get a Brabus version of this that comes with about 343 kilowatts of power, and apparently that goes like off a shovel. But yeah, we get a 66 kilowatt hour battery in this. Actually, all of them get the same 66 kilowatt hour battery. That will do 560 claimed miles on the CLTC cycle. That's the generous one. Sorry, kilometers on the CLTC cycle. That's about 273 miles on the WLTC cycle. So actually, you know, pretty good range, and more than, well, almost triple that you got in the fortwo EQ, if they even still sell that. I'm not 100% certain. So really, no, excellent. Now, of course, it's an electric car as well, so it's naturally quiet, but it's also quiet in general. There's not a lot of road noise from the outside, so the cabin soundproofing must be pretty good on this as well. It also comes with level 2 autonomous driving assistance systems. So that means things like your lane keeping assist and your adaptive cruise control. And given that I'm on the highway at the moment, we can actually try that out in a minute. So you simply press the button on the left side of your steering wheel. That activates Smart Pilot Assist. And it's very much the same system you'll get in a Polestar and a Volvo, for example. So it'll do some stuff. You've got to keep your hand on the wheel. Of course you have. Interestingly, when I'm moving, the little icon on my car goes blurry to show that I'm moving at speed. That's interesting. I just noticed that. One of the cool little things, actually, another little piece of attention to detail in the Smart 01 is that when you change lanes without indicating, the little tweeters in the Beats version, and you can't see this in the daytime because it's too bright, but at night time they flash red to warn you that you're changing lane without indicating, which I think is quite cool, actually. It's quite a funky little thing to have. Okay, so that's it for our review of the Smart number 1, and you know what? I like it. I do. I like it a lot. I wasn't sure I would, but it really, it's kept so much of the Smart DNA, despite the fact that it's grown up quite a bit. It's a lot bigger. It's still very cool. I love the lava lamp styling and this 1,000-pound paintwork that we've got on ours as well. Love the big wheels out in the corners. Big spacious interior that's actually quite clever and practical as well. It's got some cool tech in there. It's also got some nice little touches, the ambient lighting. But the refinement is brilliant. Definitely for a car of this price and this size. It is outstanding. And the electric drivetrain just kind of finishes it off. It's everything that a Smart should be, really. Maybe for the 21st century.